What is going on, YouTube? I am Prepper Princess, the author of Living on Almost Nothing. If you are interested in purchasing my book, I will go ahead and leave a link down in the description box below. It has come to my attention that I have never really discussed FICO scores on my channel, and I do apologize for that, but it's not really something that really pertains to me, I should say. And there is one little secret that happened when I was a teenager that I will go ahead and tell you about. So my FICO score is usually always around 800. And you all know I paid off all my debt 20 years ago. And when you pay off all of your debt, your credit score plummets. It plummets. I don't know why. I don't get it. But so Dave Ramsey says that a FICO score is not important. You can do manual underwriting on a mortgage. Look, I tried. It doesn't even matter. I take that back. I didn't try manual underwriting. I tried getting a simple $7,000 bank loan on a foreclosure, and I was turned away by 6 different banks, even with a credit score of 800. And people are like, how is that possible? You tell me. I have no idea. So a FICO score, and since I pay off my credit card balance every month, if not bi-weekly, a credit score has never helped me with anything. I'm just looking up something really quick because I'm not 100% sure on this. There are 3 different credit reporting agencies, and they are TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. And what all these 3 things do is they are credit marketing companies that put it all into FICO, which is Fair Isaacs Corporation. Fair Isaacs Corporation started in the 1950s, but it didn't really become a thing until the 1980s. And they take all of the points from all 3 of these credit reporting agencies, and then they put all 3 of them together, and then they balance them out to an average. So if you have a credit score of 5, 6, and 700, your average score is going to be 600, that type of thing. And I'm trying to find out there. Hold on one second. Found the perfect pie chart, which I will leave here or here while I'm discussing it. All right, so credit reports or FICO scores are based upon 35% is payment history, 30% is amount owed, 10% is new credit, 15% is length of credit history, and 10% is your credit mix. I do recall somewhere there being, that maybe this isn't the best chart, but I do recall somewhere there being a income to credit or income to debt ratio, but that's not on this pie chart. God. All right, so I'm going to try and put a pie chart up here. Here we go. Thank you. Yeah, it still says the same thing. New credit, I am curious if new credit incorporates new credit requests or like a check of what your FICO score is. To be honest with you, I don't really know. And then when it comes to a credit score, anything 300 to 629 is considered bad, 630 to 689 is fair, 690 to 719 is good, and then 720 to 850 is excellent. 850 is the highest you can get. It used to be 900, but now it's back down to 850. Mine hovers around 800. I haven't had any debt other than my rotating credit card, which I pay off every month for 20 plus years. Plus, I had a car loan that I paid off in 6 months, but that was like several years ago. And one thing about being a landlord, a property owner, somebody who has a rental property, and this is really difficult, but and I again, I'm not really big on FICO scores. I don't really pay attention. It's never assisted me in anything. But one of the things is that when you go to rent an apartment or a house, they check your credit score. They do background checks and they check your credit score. My property manager took several months finding a valid renter for my rental property because nobody had a credit score above 620. To me, that's insane. That shows complete irresponsibility with any sort of finances on the part of anybody who's doing their own finances. But Nobody could pass because of the 620 credit score, or they did not make 2.5 times the amount of the rent. And as a landlord, you're willing to work with tenants or possible tenants. So you say, okay, maybe you've got a bad credit score, or, your history isn't that great. So we'll do this. If you're willing to pay 3 months in advance, we'll rent the apartment out to you, and we'll call it a day. You have a bad credit score, but if you have cash is king, and nobody has the cash either. So nobody has the cash either. Okay, can you get a cosigner? Nobody can cosign who has a credit score that is better than the 620. So it is a revolving difficulty in the finance world. Whatever. Okay, I don't really have any sort of tidbits. Well, I have a couple of tidbits, I guess. Okay, so length of credit history is not really something that you can help, or can you? We'll get to that. The biggest ones are the payment history at 35% and amount owed at 30%. That takes up 55%. That is the bulk of it. Payment history does not mean you've done it for 20 years. Payment history is paying on time, every time, even if it's just the minimum payment. And this includes credit cards, bank loans, medical debt, mortgages, car loans, you name it. As long as you are paying on time and you have a decent payment history, that's 35%. Boom. The amount owed. I believe that the amount owed might have to do with your debt to income ratio. And if you have a credit card that has a $20,000 limit and you only have $1,000 on the credit card that you pay off each month, then it's going to look a lot better than somebody who has a $10,000 credit limit and has $10,000 on the credit card. That is the amount owed. So one of the main things that you want to do is, of course, pay off your debt. And also having a poor FICO score leads to much, much higher interest rates on everything, on your car loans, your mortgage, your credit cards, everything. So the higher your credit score is, the lower the monthly interest is going to be. And that is a poor tax. That's just straight out what it is, a poor tax. One thing that I do recall my mother talking to me about when I was like 17, 18, I paid for everything in cash, 17, 18 at that time. And she said, hey, sweetheart, I'm piggybacking you on my credit card. And I was like, okay. And then like a couple weeks later, I was like, wait, what's piggybacking? You're piggybacking me on your credit card. Now, my mom has a really good credit score, and you definitely do not want to piggyback off of somebody who has a very bad credit score, because it's going to make yours even worse. But if you don't have any payment history and you're just a teenager, you're a young kid, young person in your 20s, and you really want to build up your credit, they can put you as a user on their account. Now, only if you are an adult. Don't do this with an irresponsible child. And you also don't have to give them a credit card. So you can just say, I'm piggybacking you, but not give them access to your account. That's okay. And don't even tell them what credit card it is. Don't tell them it's with this company or that company. Just tell them that you're doing it, and it will build their credit score, and it will increase their credit score anywhere between 45 and 65 points. So if they've got a 635 credit score, it could bump them all the way up to 700 if you yourself have good credit. Or if you're the kid and you're seeing this, if your parent has good credit. If your parent has bad credit, it's going to bring your credit down. So you want to make sure that you're doing this with a really responsible child or a really responsible parent, because it does go both ways, people. It definitely goes both ways. So consider that. Consider piggybacking. It's something that is totally legal, and they still do it, and it could increase your credit score if the person you're piggybacking off of has really good financial credit. All right, folks. I don't know if there's anything I can wrap up here. Do I believe a FICO score is important? I think that a FICO score is important for people who are not able to pay for everything in cash. Dave Ramsey says, I don't do debt. I pay for everything in cash. It's not easy saving up, paying cash for a house. It's just not easy. It's not easy with the prices, the average price of a car these days being $50,000, if you want to buy a brand new car, it's not easy saving up $50,000 to just slap on the table at the car dealership and be like, give me that new Tundra. You know, not easy. So for the majority of people who are not able to completely live debt free, or they might have to take out a loan for short term in order to pay off but they're still able to pay it off really quickly, a FICO score is definitely important. And for renting a house or renting an apartment, absolutely very important. All right, folks, I hope that this video has been helpful. Do what you can with what you've got. Prepper Princess out. Why do I feel like you guys want something? What do you want? You want that? Well, go ahead.
Beowulf's death at the end of the poem represents the idea that all men, all their works shall die.
I'm just trying to read. Have you been good, dog? Uh-oh. How about you? Have you been a good dog? Oh, is it that time? Is it that time? Oh. Okay. Oh. Gosh. Hey, okay. Let me put down the marker or something. Okay. Yeah. How about you, Rocky? Okay. Down. Can you get down? Can you get down? No, you don't know how to get down, do you? You just know how to get up. Well, I guess we're gonna have to go for a walk then. I guess we're just gonna have to go for a walk. I guess we have to now, don't we? Okay.